Rain hammered the empty highway like fate knocking too hard, and the billionaire's black car lay twisted against the guardrail, smoke curling into the night. Elena ran toward it without thinking, her worn shoes slipping on wet asphalt, her breath burning in her chest. She was poor enough to count coins before buying bread, yet rich in instincts she trusted more than fear. Inside the wreck, Adrian Hale hung unconscious, blood tracing his temple, the man whose face filled magazines and screens. Elena broke the window with a stone, whispering to him as if he could hear, her hands steady despite the tremble in her heart. "Stay with me," she said, pressing cloth against the wound, holding his pulse like it was her own. Sirens wailed far away, but it was her voice that kept him breathing until the night finally loosened its grip. He woke to white light and silence, memory blurred like a dream dissolving at dawn. Doctors spoke in careful tones, calling it a miracle, and Adrian nodded, distracted by the woman who stood near the door, eyes lowered, coat thin for the cold room. Elena had stayed until morning, refusing reward, leaving only her name with a nurse before slipping back into a life that never waited. Adrian searched for her with the hunger of a man who had brushed death and wanted to thank the hand that pulled him back. When he found her days later, sweeping a bus terminal floor, he smiled with a warmth his board had never seen. "You saved my life," he said, and she answered softly, "Anyone would have." He offered help, money, comfort, but she shook her head, a shadow crossing her face as if love was a door she dared not open. Their meetings became quiet rituals, coffee shared at dawn, words exchanged like careful promises. Elena spoke of small things, of rain and stray cats and the way hope could hide in corners. Adrian spoke of power that felt hollow, of nights alone in glass towers, of a loneliness money could not buy. He fell in love slowly, then all at once, convinced that fate had stitched them together with invisible thread. When he asked her to stay, to let him be more than a memory from a storm, she looked at him with eyes full of sorrow and light. "Some truths arrive too late," she said, touching his chest as if listening to his heart. He laughed it away, believing love could outrun time, believing miracles were generous. The truth waited in an envelope he ignored, buried under contracts and applause. A private investigator's report, ordered out of idle curiosity, named Elena Morales and traced a history she never shared. Adrian read it in his office as the city glittered below, each word striking harder than the crash that almost killed him. Elena had been his first love years ago, the woman he left without a goodbye when ambition swallowed him whole, the one who vanished carrying a child he never knew existed. The dates aligned with cruel precision, the blood type noted, the donor match that explained why her hands knew exactly how to save his life. His knees weakened as understanding flooded him, a truth so heavy it bent the air. She had saved him because she loved him, because he was family, because fate can be mercilessly poetic. He ran through rain again, this time chasing forgiveness, but the terminal was empty, the floor already clean. A clerk said she left town that morning, pale and smiling, leaving a note addressed to him. Adrian opened it with shaking fingers, her words gentle as they undid him. She wrote of love that never demanded return, of a daughter who deserved peace, of a miracle that cost nothing but silence. "I saved you once," she wrote, "now save yourself." The city roared outside, indifferent, while he crumpled to the floor, realizing that wealth had taught him the price of everything and the value of nothing. Weeks later, at a small seaside clinic, Adrian finally found her, thinner, tired, yet radiant in a way that broke him. Elena lay by a window where light kissed her skin, illness having claimed the strength she spent on him. He took her hand, tears falling freely, confessing all the truths he had learned too late. She smiled, lifting his hand to her heart, where love still beat stubbornly. "Timing is a language we never learn," she whispered. He promised to stay, to change, to make amends that would echo beyond them, but she closed her eyes as if sleep were a mercy. At dawn, Elena slipped away with the tide, leaving Adrian holding a quiet room full of echoes. He built schools and clinics in her name, funded lives instead of deals, and raised their daughter with stories of a woman who believed miracles were meant to be shared. Sometimes, when rain fell hard against the windows, he felt her near, a warmth in the storm, a reminder that love can save a life and still break a heart. The truth had come too late for them, but not too late to change the world she left behind.